We need precision mechanisms. So today we're going to set up the production of precision mechanisms in a new factory that I've built between episodes. The first step in making precision mechanisms is setting up a process for making a volatile sky solution, which is made using skystone dust, which we can get in an ever-repeating cycle by grinding, or in this case, millstoning skystone. So what we need is a way of getting the skystone and the skystone dust out. So that will go here, and we're going to have that go into what would be the next step, which is to go into a basin. So we can place the basin down there, and that's going to be a belt. But before it gets there, we're going to have a barrel here. Or it's not a barrel. I keep calling them barrels, but they're not barrels. So place that down like such. Well, we want it facing the other direction actually, because we can then take our funnels, place one on there, and we can take a piece of skystone. The lamps are getting in the way. And if we lock that drawer, it means the only thing that's going to be able to go into that drawer is skystone. So when the skystone and skystone dust come out of here, the skystone will be picked up by this funnel, and the skystone dust will go into the basin. I've now hooked up that entire process, and we built a bunch of water wheels to power this base. So we can now take our skystone, and we can place it in this drawer, and we can see if the system works. So it's going to start grinding up the skystone. And then it should, the only thing that should end up in this basin here is skystone dust. So it's grinding all of that up, taking some time. So it is going quite fast on this system. I moved the entire thing one block forward so we had some more space to actually connect it all up. And has any of this ground up yet? No. Oh, there we go. So the skystone dust goes through, and the skystone goes background, and yeah. So there should be always 10 skystone in that millstone, so it should never stop. And we should have some skystone dust in our basin. To turn that skystone dust into volatile sky solution, we need to use a mixer. You can place a mixer down above that, and I believe that piece of polished stone went into there. So we'll need to take that out of there and get rid of all of this skystone. And that will all be picked up, so that's fine. And then we need to pump in water into here as well, so we can set up a little bit of a piping network. So if we put pipes going up here into the basin, we can place our pump down, and we can flip that around, and then we can put in our infinite water source, which will go there. So this source is now infinite. And then all we need to do is find a way of powering this thing. So get the cogwheels going and flip them around with our wrench. And if we take this one out for just a second, we should start to get water into our pump, into our basin. And we can even check on that by opening up this pipe here and seeing that we are starting to get water in there. Next thing we need to do is power up our mechanical mixer. And there we go, got the mechanical mixer powered up, and that should be turning into volatile sky solution, and it is. And then what we want to do with that is we want to pump that out, but what we want to do is have that filtered. So we take one of our copper machines and make a smart fluid pipe. We can actually make two of those. So we can place that down there, and we can flip that around once we have another thing there for it to flip around to face. So we can place that pump down like that, and I guess we just have to break this one. And then we can take a bucket of sky solution, which I actually had earlier from when we tried to make our tools, and that means it will only allow sky solution to be pumped out and not the water. And then we can pump that out into another basin, and then we'll be able to use that to make the destabilized redstone. To make the destabilized redstone from our volatile sky solution, we need charged Certus quartz. However, what we'll get back when we make that is we'll get regular Certus quartz back. But to make Certus quartz, what we can do is we can use the charger to make it charged again. But to make the charger, we need to have a piece of flux crystal. To get flux crystals, you charge one piece of dropped redstone and nether quartz into a puddle of water, and we get 2 pieces of flux crystal. We can combine one of those with an andesite machine, and that will get us our charger. And if we grab the dynamo from next door, we can power this thing up. So placing down our charger, and the dynamo should be able to go underneath, just like that. We can place a piece of charcoal in there, and we can place our piece of Certus quartz in the charger, and that should be able to generate us charged Certus quartz, as you can see. And that we can use then that charged Certus quartz, drop it into there, and that should be able to produce us redstone once we have a mixture above that. With the mixture installed, that's all mixing up and starting to make us destabilized redstone. And we can see that picking that up, we got a piece of Certus quartz back. So we can put in more charged Certus quartz until that makes us a full bucket of destabilized redstone. We can now take our destabilized redstone and pump it into here using our fluid filter again, and flipping that round, and we can connect that up, and that will pump out any of the destabilized redstone that we have in here into this basin over here. We now need to go on to making pure Certus quartz, because that's what we need with the destabilized redstone to make the polished rose quartz. In order to make pure Certus quartz, we need to make Certus quartz seeds. We can do that using either Certus quartz dust and sand, or we can use a mechanical crafter. So later on, we'll set up this process with some pipes and set it up with a mechanical crafter so that we can do it automatically and it won't use up any sand. To start off, we need to take some of our Certus quartz and we need to grind it up. We're just going to use this grindstone as it's here. We can make up those seeds now with the sand and the Certus quartz dust, and that gets us 16 seeds. We can just place one of them down so that it just saves us a bit of time on our depot. And we're going to take spout, and we've connected this pipe up to the water that we have connecting the water over there. So that should fill up with, and there we go, we have the water, and it's starting to posh onto the seed, and that's growing the seed. We can see that that will go from the seed to a second stage seed, to a third stage seed, all the way to a pure Certus quartz, which we can pick up now. And that is what we'll use. And then we can take that and the redstone, and we need another mixer to make that into the polished rose quartz. Throwing a piece of pure Certus quartz into there, we can see that we will get a piece of polished rose quartz, and that will then come out of here, and we can take that and we will put a block above here and a spout, because what we want to do is turn that into an electron tube by pouring molten iron onto it using a spout. So what we want to then do is have a way of getting the molten iron. So we need to have a lava tank there, and then we're going to have a seared melter there, and that can just be poured using a seared faucet into the top of the fluid tank. So we should be able to put 2 iron ingots into there, taking up using the fuel, lava as fuel, and then right-click that, and that will go into there. And with that hooked up, we can throw down a piece of rose quartz on there, and it should squirt that, and it becomes an electron tube. And that is basically the one step away from turning that into a precision mechanism, is taking 2 of those, a kinetic mechanism and a screwdriver. If we now take our electron tubes and just take 11 of them and split them between 2 stacks, we can stick them in that hand and that hand, and then the last hand we'll put a screwdriver, which is made as so, and we can take a bunch of kinetic mechanisms and stick them in there, and that should turn them into precision mechanisms. We have our precision mechanisms. So we can go ahead and click ahead on that, and that will allow us to make brass machines. There are a few places along this production line that we can make more automatic over time, but as you are still watching in today's episode, what I would like to know from you is how many of you are playing along at the same time. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye bye.